Welcome. Hey, Tom here. Life advice video on the spur of the moment. I'm doing this because I'm trying to catch up on my private messages, and this is a really important life advice video for those of you who are having problems with a breakup in your life, a relationship breakup. It's very serious, by the way. So put yourself in my position, by the way. You're going through 30, 40 emails, and there's a trend going on all of a sudden. Then you go through 30, 40 more. I got like 200 to go through. I promise to get to everybody. It's almost humanly impossible to type it all out. So if I haven't gotten to you, please don't hold it against me. Please, please, please. I'm really doing my best, as you can tell. This is my second video tonight. But let me get back to the story because it's so important. After about 60 responses and 2 hours of typing, I'm like, wait a minute, something's going on here. 15 or 20 people of the last 60 are youngsters, I'll say between the age of 15 up to 30 years old. Near suicide. I'm going to be bold here because they're breaking up in a relationship. And they're asking me for life advice. So for me to sit here and type a whole situation about how to handle your situation, it's impossible for me to type all this out. So I'm just going to make a video. So this is going to those of you, as far as life advice, who need strength right now, who are going through a breakup, whether it's a divorce, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it might be. This is important because we lost 2 YouTubers in the last 6 months to suicide. Serious. One was one of my subscribers, and he was also Pete at the Armory channel, a subscriber to Pete, and he happened to speak to Pete 2 days on the telephone, 2 days prior to himself taking his own life with a shotgun. All over a girl, about 17 years old. So this is going to you youngsters. Now listen, I'm just going to talk, I'm by myself here. I'm just going to talk openly. First of all, I can relate. Okay, I'm 48 years old. I've been there, been through it, been through all of, I'll call it the adolescence. I want to give you some strength now, you youngsters. This is going to you youngsters. This is a family channel. As you know, I'm all about morals, spirituality, and bringing more harmony to the internet. I have 2 young girls myself, age 4 and 6. I don't want them in 8, 9, 10 years on the internet seeing all the nasty stuff that's out there. I want to try to do my little part that I can possibly do to make the internet more harmonious. I also realize there's a lot of you, from reading all the emails, who have broken families. And that's okay, but I mean, it's not okay, but it's sad, but you just got to deal with it. We'll talk about it. If your parents are not married, is what I'm saying. If you're growing up with just your mom, or with just your dad, or with your grandparents, or you're living with your aunt and uncle, I'm realizing from the private messages I'm getting, oh boy, there's so many of you. I'm with you guys and girls, I'm with you. But I want to give you some strength right now. That's what this is all about. I want to give you strength. First of all, let me tell you what I went through when I was young. Then I'm going to tell you what to do if you have the same problems that I did. I'm going to give you one story in particular. I'm pouring my heart out here to you. Now, you know, my wife and I, how much we love each other, by the way. I mean, we've been together since 1993. She was a very, very young girl then. She's 10 years younger than me. Perfect relationship, best friends, everything's perfect with the children, this, that, and the other. It's perfect. So that all goes into part of my story here. Thank gosh that God knew what my future was. He knew it was my wife and not the girls that really got me crushed. One in particular. Okay? I'll just make up a name and call her Susan. It's not her name, but I'll just, okay, so this girl named Susan, high school sweetheart, hormones are flying high, by the way. I'm just going to pretend you're a guy and your girlfriend's breaking up with you, because that seems to be the trend with the emails I'm getting. And you guys, it happened to me, all right? Big time. Big time. My girl, Susan, we dated, and I was so in love, and the hormones are flying. I couldn't even envision her touching somebody else or kissing somebody else or anything. I mean, I couldn't even fathom it. And we were, the little, whatever, those promise rings back then and all that stuff. And now I'm like 19, 20 years old. I'm thinking, I'm getting older now, and we're still dating, everything's rocking and rolling. We're thinking about getting married. Serious stuff. I mean, I just love this girl. I mean, it's all I cared about. And now I'm getting ready to get into the financial planning arena, becoming a younger man. I'm 20, 21, 22, and all of a sudden, I found out she's cheating on me. Whoa. It was Father's Day. I never forget, it was Father's Day. My dad came, I bragged about this girl to my dad, and he drove, you know how much I care about my dad if you've seen my videos, and he drove a long distance to the center of the state of Florida from Tampa, and he came to see me, like a 2-hour drive. And he goes, well, where's Susan? I go, I don't know, she's supposed to be here. And she didn't show up for 3 days. Turns out she went back to her old boyfriend, and it crushed me. I was so humiliated. I was so down and out. You know how long it took me to get over that? A year. Maybe even longer. My mentor in the financial planning arena now at this time, his name is Gary, he was telling me, he's like, Tommy, he's an older guy, you know, he's 20 years older than me at the time. He's like, Tommy, you know, I gotta give you some advice. He goes, I've been divorced 4 times. The first one's always the toughest. Because after that, it's just a business deal. I don't want to be cold here or nothing. I'm trying to give you youngsters strength, because these emails I'm getting are pretty serious. First of all, what you want to do is call a helpline. We don't want no more suicides. We don't want no more depression. I want you to get the strength you need. Now, if you're really on a scale of 10, a 2 or 3, you can PM me with your phone number, and I'll call you and lead you in the right direction. I will respond to that PM, I promise. If you're really on a scale of 2 or 3 out of 10, if I can help save a life, I'm going to do it. If I can help get you out of the major rut that I'm reading here in these emails. I didn't realize my life advice videos mean this much to you. I mean, I know they do mean a lot, but I didn't know that there's so many of you hurting out there. So let me go back to my story. So now she's cheating on me. This Susan girl, I made up a name. Susan's cheating on me. Oh boy, that next year was brutal for me. I felt so bad for myself. I didn't date another girl. I didn't leave the home. I went to work and came home, and I was absolutely feeling sorry for myself. I was miserable. I was crying. I was just like thinking the world's coming to an end. I felt so sorry. I remember calling my mom, who by the way passed away a year ago. And losing your mother's a tough thing to do. Now that's something that's a lot more. When you get older in life and you start losing human beings to death, try getting through that. That's much more difficult than what I went through when I was a kid. I'll call it, because I was a kid. I was a kid until I was like 28. I'll admit it. I admit it to you right now. I didn't really become a man until I was about 28. Until I met my wife, and she gave me a backbone. So what I'm trying to say to you is this. What is the answer? What do you do if you're young and you're down and out and you're totally depressed, you're going through a breakup, and your loved one just broke up with you, cheated on you, and just totally crushed you? Your hormones are flying. Well, first of all, it's going to happen to you again. I want to say that. So get used to it. It's going to strengthen you up. Just get used to it. It's going to happen to you again. With the internet today, by the way, you can go meet someone immediately. I do recommend that. Right? It's pretty. I didn't have that when I was your age. Just youngsters watching this. Okay, here's a couple things I would recommend. First of all, buy this book. Okay? Manifest Your Destiny. Google it, go to Amazon.com, buy it. I think it's only about $10, I don't even know. Wayne Dyer is the author. I've read this book about 10 times. When I first read this book, when I was about 27 years old, I don't know what it was, I don't know what age it was. It changed my life. This is not all about God and all that stuff. This is how to change your future, change your destiny, how to manifest it. Google the word manifest. Okay? Because we go through different stages in our life. I can't get into the whole book right now. It's only 150 pages or so, and it's easy reading, and it's good for you to read too, especially if you're down and out. This will strengthen you up. I'm going to say it again. Manifest Your Destiny. Buy it on Amazon. If you're down and out, I want to know you bought this book. I want to know that you read it, and then I want you to PM me back saying, Tom, that book made me a stronger person. Now, the Bible, I talk about it a lot. I'm not going to get too spiritual right now. Do I go to church every Sunday? I'm going to be honest right now. No, I don't. I'm not going to lie. I'd be lying to God. I'm not going to lie. My two daughters, yes, they do go to a Christian school, so I'm going to church probably about 2 Sundays a month. But where does my real spirituality lie? Is it reading this like it's a novel? No, I don't do that either. It's between myself and God, and you have to have some spirituality in your life, especially younger folks who are going through these tough times right now. I'm talking to you right now. Look, you're going through a relationship, you're broken up, you're down and out, you're depressed. You have a broken home you're living in, and you're down and out. What do? Well, sometimes what I do with the Bible is I'll just grab it and whatever issue I'm having a major problem that day, let's look at this page. And then somehow some miracle hits, like, I can't believe this paragraph relates to exactly what the problem is I'm having. There's some power in this book. I'm not going to get into that too much. So maybe this will help you, yes, go to church, try it out, or temple, or whatever your spirituality is. That doesn't matter. It'll make you feel a little bit better. Just try it. That's just a tip. But please, I don't want to see no one take their own life. We lost 2 YouTubers the past 6 months to suicide. This is serious stuff. And I just read over a dozen emails from youngsters who are really having serious issues right now over a breakup. You're not going to remember it a couple of years from now. I promise. You're not going to remember that girl, if that's the case. You'll have a new girl. Or even if you don't, it doesn't matter. You won't remember it. You'll get over it. Your life is just such a beautiful thing. I'm going to leave it at that. Good night. Stay strong now. Stay strong. Stay strong.